Okay, well, let's go in now.
You see what happened, Camille? When I reached over to push the button, my boob slipped down
Okay, well,
because I'm wearing.
lean out of the camera shot and get your strapless
Girlfriends.
bra.
Y'all, it's such a bad thing.
She's always messing with her cha-chas.
this
I can't tell you. I mean,
And then I got stains.
that did it for
I
me.
got stains. I got booby stains. I saw that when I had
Are
already
you
left my
leaking?
house.
are you leaking?
No.
Well,
but
how is,
I
are you
don't-
splishing on yourself?
Hi, everybody.
We are talking.
We're
back.
we're here. We've been busy.
Oh, Lordy. I've had a week.
Oh my gosh, Camille married.
I did had a wedding.
Camille got married. No, Camille's son got married, but you did the whole
Kinda.
freaking wedding.
I did it all. I don't know. Why, is it my job? Maybe I
No,
just take
she's
over.
the mother of the groom.
I know, right? So I paid a lot for this.
I know, and there were things you were doing that I'm like,
That's not
last
my
time
job.
I consulted the etiquette manual on who pays for what shit for the wedding. I think you went overboard. I think
just-
you stepped in.
I just love my son.
I know.
I
know.
love my kids.
Here, let me tell you what happened. Camille actually officiated. She wore like the robe.
I'm an officiant.
And
I'm a minister.
yes, and don't you worry because she still had on blingy earrings.
Oh, yeah.
There was
you let your heart not be
mistaken
troubled.
that Camille was not there in person because she was.
You knew it was me. I'm blinging down the aisle.
And I will tell you that it was a beautiful outside garden, but the sun was right in Camille's face. If you know Camille, if you travel, you get to travel and stay in a hotel with Camille, and all you psycho men, no, that's not you. She likes the air down on about 42.
I like it cold. I'm a cold girl.
So I was worried about you because
Oh,
here
Lord.
you've got the black robe
yeah.
with the scarf.
Yeah. The strong, yeah. Let me tell you, I'll tell you what I wore underneath that.
Nothing.
No, I'm not.
Feels like I went commando.
Well, I had my little undies on. I had my bra on, but that's about it. But I did put an ice pack on my back.
Oh, you did?
I strapped an ice pack on my back.
Good for you.
If I wouldn't have had that ice melting on my back, I would not have stood there that long. I would have passed out. It was 100 degrees.
It was
outside.
but you were right in the sun,
I was.
and you had a canopy of trees where there was no breeze.
right. It was over a waterfall. It was lovely.
It was it was a pretty
But it was
scene.
hot
But I'm
as
just looking
hell.
at Camille. I'm like, she is sweating in places she doesn't normally sweat.
But you heard me talking kind of fast. I was like, da 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 da. I was not
No,
gonna.
you did.
I did
you
all
were
right.
so good. Yeah, I was like, you know
thank
what?
you.
Note to self: if I ever get married, she's doing it.
Oh, I love that.
By the way, I made a post and I said, I'm so proud of my friend. She married her son. And I got all these people going, I didn't know that was legal. And I didn't get it. After a while, then I was like, oh, hell. No, she
Oh.
didn't. I just changed the words around. She
officiated.
officiated. Yeah.
She's a minister. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Well, and I had all these people come there, like my father-in-law, and he's like, "Oh, you're doing this." Yes, I am. It's like,
Oh, shoot. Sorry, y'all.
turn off your damn phone, girl.
I don't know anybody in Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's probably a robocall. I hate that shit.
Can I
Doesn't it just bug the crap out of you?
Do you know
Oh.
what my morning routine is? And we're going to go back to the wedding.
Yeah.
I wake up, I pee, right?
Right.
Take my Thrive,
Yeah.
brush my teeth, and then I
Poop.
start deleting emails.
Oh my gosh.
I am on some list. And even though it says unsubscribe, click here, and then you have to put your email in, and then it says within 24 hours. Bullshit.
It's still
Do you know what
coming.
I get? Do you need an erection longer? No, I don't have a
Finger.
penis.
Those fingers.
Even though that.
She got a finger.
No, I'm gonna wag it at you guys. And then it goes down to things
Irritating.
like women in Asia want to meet you, y'all. Do you need a new roof? How about an eyeball transplant? There's all kinds of shit
Oh,
coming
my
at me,
God.
Camille, that I'm just like, stop it.
See, I am blocking calls daily now, and I'm on the do not call list. By the way, you can get on the do not call registry, and I'm on that.
I
These
think I'm
assholes
trying
don't
to-
care.
They don't care. And I tell
No.
you what, I keep getting the same
I'm blocking every day.
emails that I know I am not off the fucking
Can
list.
you put them in spam? Can you spam them? Put them back in the spam folder, and they should always go to the spam folder from that point on. I deleted 1,000 spams. I mean, I'm deleting
No,
spams
I know,
all the time.
I know. And
just hit
y'all,
delete.
I
I don't
just
care.
get like 8.
It's annoying.
I love you Asian women, but I'm not into women.
No,
So
me neither.
maybe don't
I mean, I want my girlfriends,
I
but
love Camille and stuff, but she ain't my cup
not
of
naked
tea.
though. We're not doing naked stuff.
I know, and I could have had a chance to peek because under that choir robe.
Oh my God, right?
But you know what? And then Camille changes. She does the Wonder Woman, twirls around, and all of a
yeah.
sudden she's got something else on, and you came out snazzy
I did, thank
as
you.
all fuck.
I
in
like-
the black. She had this black cocktail with this diamond choker.
kinda fun.
I was like, ooh, there's the Camille I know. I do not know her as a minister. So in case you're wondering, do ministers say fuck?
Not when I'm in a gown.
Yes, you did.
I did?
To me. Not in public, no.
We're going to get started, you fuckers.
Camille's like,
Blasphemous. Like blasphemy all over.
oh my gosh.
You know,
Oh
God
my
knows I got a sense of humor and God loves me no matter what I
Yes,
say. We have that
yes.
arrangement. So
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're hoping you feel the same way about shock talking.
Yeah.
What,
We don't watch
so
more than once we know why.
You're the mother of the bride. You officiated.
Mother of the groom.
I mean, mother of the groom.
Officiated, yeah. Oh, please
Sorry.
don't do that. Thank you. Yeah.
And you were the wedding planner primarily.
please.
God, do you
I
feel
was
like you
the
just
wedding
had a baby?
I was the wedding wallet. Yeah. It took so much out of me. I can't tell you that. The week before, and the month before, I was working as many overtime hours as I could just to
did.
pay
I
for this damn
know.
thing.
I
I'm
know.
10 grand into this shit. I know. And thank God, my sweet friend that passed away,
Yeah.
you know,
Miss
June
Jan.
3rd, she died, Jan Miller. Love you, Janny. She paid for a week in Hard Rock Cafe in Cancun for my son's honeymoon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's $4,000. Isn't that sweet?
Wow, that
Nice
was
gift.
so generous.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. I love her. But anyway.
It was.
So they're in Mexico right now.
I tell you what, though, it's interesting because I've been to weddings before, and it's like going to a junior high dance.
Totally.
You've got the groom side and the family on one, and you've got the bride side, and they never mingle.
No.
And the first people, Karen brought this out, the first people on the dance floor are always the youngest kids.
True, yeah.
And then you'll get like a little bit older kids. It's always cousins or something.
Yeah.
Did they ever get adults on the floor?
A few. Well, I danced with my son, and then she danced with her dad, so we had that special dance.
Yeah.
But no, didn't really ever bloom into that. No.
Yeah.
Which I was fine with. They cut the cake.
Yeah,
and-
Camille's like, I can't get hot.
No, it was nice and cool on the interior. It was nice. It's a beautiful place.
It was a really pretty place.
gorgeous.
I've never
place.
been inside, but it was
Me
really
neither,
pretty.
But it was lovely.
No,
pretty area.
you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
And now we have Camille back. Because there was a while, y'all, that I'm like, are you sleeping? Have you pooped? Have you eaten? Because I was
I'm
worried
still at
about
work.
you.
I'm still at work. I'm still
know.
at work. No,
I
I was
know,
still
I
at work.
know.
I work every night. I think like
Will you go have
weeks.
margaritas with me now?
I'll go have margaritas.
Oh, good Lord.
Absolutely.
She's my only drinking partner.
Yeah,
and-
I'll have a little
and let me
margarita.
just say that's putting it lightly because when we go, like 2 is max.
Oh yeah, we don't. And we do skinny margaritas.
We don't go crazy.
No.
Doesn't mean we can't. And doesn't mean if anybody wants to buy us a trip to Cancun.
We like that. Give us the week in Hard Rock Cafe, baby.
know
All
it.
expenses paid. Isn't that nice? Yeah, all the drinking, all the food, all
That's
the whatever.
crazy.
I know.
All the food.
It is all inclusive. It's amazing. But you know, you're spending $4,000 in Mexico, so. But it's a little sketchy. I told my kid, you be real careful. You know, there's been some killings in Cancun since the first of this year.
Yeah.
I don't think anywhere out of the United States
a
is
third
safe
world
right
country.
now. Shit, nowhere it's safe. Let's just be honest.
I
We're
know.
dealing with a lot of stuff. And I got a concern about Canada. You know, I heard the Prime Minister say, you know, we'll take whatever the United States doesn't want. We'll take all the immigrants. I'm thinking, sugar, you don't want that. I mean, there is within reason.
You know what's going to happen?
All or nothing on
They're
everything.
going to take them and
Well,
then
they
they're
had
going
a
to trickle
shooting 2 days
down.
ago.
Oh, I know.
They had
In
a shooting.
Toronto, yeah.
Yep, they had a shooting, and I think it was a Toronto native. But I don't. Look, there's just so much going on.
Well, and here's what happens, you know, and this is the trickling effect really, is either it happens from people coming in, whatever the tragedy is.
That's right.
Or you get the pissed off citizens that go, I'm not happy with this,
Yeah.
you know.
So I think everything in moderation. I really do. I'm not anti anything.
Except for margaritas.
Well, we got to have an abundance of margaritas. Chips and salsa are the best, damn it. I love it. But no, there's a little concern I've got for Canada. So, look, I will tell you what I think a lot of this problem is in the world is a lack of leadership, a lack of true leadership.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, Mahatma Gandhi was one of the best leaders because he walked his talk. I mean, he's starving himself to prevent the war. That is someone who's got his hands,
Mandela
little
is another
skinny
one.
off on the line,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, Mandela. But there's not really a lot of true leadership in this planet right now, and that's what's missing. You look at government, I'm like, oh my gosh, people, it is embarrassing. I'm humiliated to watch the news half the time. It's just embarrassing. All the bullshit going on. The Democrats, the Republicans. It's like, you guys quit it.
Well, it's hard to know who to trust.
Well, that's I think part of the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me
Anyway.
just settle your mind right now. You can trust us.
Oh yeah, we know what we're talking about.
Because remember, we have the
we're
idea
random, but-
that women, particularly mothers, should run prisons. And
Yes.
that will never leave my mind.
Well,
I want
you
that
got
on
a
my
good-
tombstone.
Look,
Mothers should run prisons.
you got a good point. I do think women in leadership may be a little bit better than the men that have just made a mess of everything, honestly. I'm not anti-men, but I do think we need to balance out the power bases, balance out the pay scale, and women need to be in leadership positions.
Yep.
I really believe that.
Speaking of women, I know you didn't because you were working and you were busy, but last week was the ESPYs. And at the end of the ESPYs, they always have the Arthur Ashe
Yes.
award, right? And usually, I mean, Caitlyn Jenner got it one year, but usually it's to like, not only an outstanding athlete, but somebody that has done amazing.
A courageous act. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't it to all those women that survived
Yeah,
Nasser?
300 women.
did
Not
see
that
that.
that's all, because they're still saying there's so much more. 300 women came on stage, over 30 years of abuse from this man.
Amazing.
And 3 of them, the first one that came forward, and 2 of the gymnast athletes, oh my gosh, they were so eloquent. It was moving, Camille. It was powerful. It was it was a face of courage like I've never ever seen.
Powerful.
And you know, I posted it. You know, I stood up in my bedroom when the audience stood up. Like I was so moved, you know, and my heart was moved.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just, you know, I just think 30 years this piece of shit got away with so much when so many people closed their eyes to it.
Yeah, and how many
Michigan
people
State
reported it?
and the you know, Olympic Committee, everybody was like, no. You probably don't understand what treatment is.
Oh, shut up. Look, this guy is so wormy and just he's so mousy. And you look at him and
Yeah.
you think, you know, he looks creepy to me, frankly.
Right.
But I do think that he's so unassuming and he just seems disarming and charming and, you know, just
Well,
quiet.
he's this big, so I'm sure
Yeah,
people are
yeah.
like, there's no way.
He doesn't look like a threat, but he is a monster. The guy
By the
is
way,
a monster.
they had the judge there in the audience.
oh
my
I
gosh.
love her.
I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but
Yeah.
you know who I'm talking
I
about.
love her.
Gosh, she was so moved,
Yeah.
and you could just tell she was part of this
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
She was part of this history, you know. I mean, he is the biggest sex offender
Mm-hmm.
to this date of the number of people for the amount of years that's been going on. Anyway,
That's sickening.
when we talk
legacy.
about, and I love, because we've talked about this before, but the movement of women, you sent me this article, and
Yeah.
if you're a mom, you will get this.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about the law. We're talking about being a mother,
Protective. Yeah, you are a lioness. You are going to kill anybody who hurt your cubs.
right?
That's right.
I mean, you and I privately think vigilante justice has
yeah.
its place.
Well, I do. I believe in that, honestly, yeah.
So what the article was this mom walked in on her. It didn't say if that was a stepdad or
No,
the
it's a biological father.
biological father raping their 7-year-old daughter.
Yep.
So what she did was,
God, that
when
was
he
just
went to bed, she doused him with alcohol and lit him on fire.
damn right. Sorry, I say damn right and good for her. That motherfucker shouldn't be doing that to that kid. I'm sorry. It just does something to me to think of
Yeah.
someone hurting a kid like that.
Oh, can you imagine?
I can't stand it.
And
I can't
so
stand it.
he somehow, you know, the footage they show, because he got in his truck
Yeah.
and he drove down to like some convenience store, and he walks in. There's no flames anymore
No.
at this point, and he's
No.
like, I'm on fire, you know. So anyway, he's in the hospital,
Right.
and he's being, you know, arrested on.
Pedophilia.
Right.
Molesting children. Yep.
But the mother is in jail
Right.
for arson, a couple other.
And to me, that is
charges.
temporary insanity. I'll tell you what, I would go probably batshit crazy if someone was hurting a kid that I was in front of. I would lose my mind.
Right.
I just would. I don't know what I would do, but I can see myself.
And she said, I
losing
think
it.
a bullet would have been too fast
Yeah,
In
he
other words,
needed
the
to go through a
pain,
little
the pain
suffering.
wouldn't go.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you what, the
I
tragedy
think she's a
is,
hero. I'm sorry. I would call her a hero.
you know, she's like Lorena Bobbitt on a different level.
And I think Lorena Bobbitt had justification for what
Hell
she did
yeah.
too. Yeah.
I'm just sorry he found his penis in the
He ended up
the
in
woods.
adult movies.
right. Should have
The police
stayed.
found it and they sewed that member back on.
And then he became a porn star.
Oh, had to make sure it worked. And everybody was like, I saw him in one little clip and he's like, y'all just want to make sure this works, don't you? And so he just rips it off and I'm like, you pig. It
He's
just,
got his pump. God. No, but you know what? So,
So
the
gross.
sad thing about that story is that
Yeah.
you've got both parents
Yeah, and the
unable
child's
to
missing
take care
now.
of the child.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're missing
You
the
know,
child,
and
yeah.
not that the dad should ever be allowed to be around that child again, but now,
no, but I wish that they had a GoFundMe account for her to get a good lawyer.
hey, Kim K,
Yeah.
you help that grandma out with
Help
a,
this. Uh-huh. Help
call
that
Trump
woman.
and say, this isn't acceptable.
I just, well, and Trump even has said that pedophiles should get the death penalty.
Heck yeah.
I love that. I
Right
think that's
now.
That's right. And then maybe
no
you stop
death
doing
row, no living like done.
40,000 a year.
God,
we
let's
keep 'em on
just
death
save
row.
us some money
Right.
and stop feeding them pork and beans,
Right.
and just shoot their ass, right?
Exactly.
I tell you what,
Well,
as,
something worse than that. I think she just suffer a little bit. I can't stand it. That just sickens me. I just hate evil. That's just evil to me. You know?
Oh my gosh.
It's evil.
see, I even say, you know, how much courage did it take that mom to not want to rip his head off while she walked in on it?
Right? Right?
She actually had to step away. It shows footage of her going and getting gas in a
Yeah.
container
Yep.
earlier that afternoon.
Yep.
But I mean, she thought it out.
Yep.
Okay. But I don't know that I could have just shut the door and walked out.
I couldn't have. I would have jumped on it. I would have. Oh, God.
I don't know. I
You
don't know.
know,
That's tough.
Well, to me, she's a hero. She's a damn hero. That right there.
Listen,
you
she's
gotta
not
do-
an
she's gotta do
arsonist.
something.
She's not. She's not
no.
any. She's not a criminal.
Look, that is temporary insanity. I'm telling you. Wouldn't you go nuts if someone was hurting your kid right in front of you?
Oh hell yeah.
You could not. I couldn't contain myself.
lay down next to the guy that just
Right.
was raping your child.
Right.
She's 7.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
care if she was 27. It
I don't care
doesn't
either.
matter. But
Doesn't
I
matter.
mean,
He's
that's
out of line.
Ooh.
He's out of line. Well, let's talk about gaslighters. Speaking of light matches, let's talk about gaslighters.
Because
today.
that's a relatively new term.
I think it's been around for a while, but it's getting used now. And gaslighters are people, it is one of the most egregious forms of emotional abuse. They can also call it crazy making because people that gaslight make you feel like you're crazy. They actually change the reality and they live like that reality is true.
So what's the difference in gaslighting and narcissism?
Well, narcissism is that, they can do no wrong, so they're never, it's not their fault, and the world has to, do what they want them to do. The world has to bow at their feet. Narcissism is this complex of me. Okay, and they can only see themselves on their viewpoint. They can't see and understand your viewpoint. But gaslighters are literally making you question your own reality. So, they will rephrase the story, reframe it, make it look like it's something different, and then you're kind of like, it makes you start doubting your own reality, doubting yourself.
But I know that happens with narcissists too.
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the person dealing with a narcissist.
Absolutely.
Well,
Well,
because you start to go like, did I
Is this
do
me?
that? You question
Yes.
everything that they are putting on.
did you ever see Girl on a Train?
Yeah.
The movie? Okay.
Yeah.
That is one of the best movies that articulates gaslighting. That husband, when she's drunk, she'll come to and he's like, oh, I can't believe you. He totally weaves this life that she's that person. And then that sweet, boss of his that she's met on the train, she's like, oh, no, honey, you didn't do any of that stuff. You laid down
Right.
because you didn't feel well, because he
Right.
doped her or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is, he got fired because, she says, I got fired because of you. No, he got fired because he couldn't quit sleeping around.
So what are the signs of a gaslighter?
I'm going to read this to people.
Because I think that people.
I got a picture of it.
Here's my advice. Most of the time, you're around a narcissist or somebody like this, you already love them.
Yeah.
You
Well, that's-
already have a relationship.
there's a
with
trust
them.
level.
Yeah. So you're not thinking,
Yep.
This person's doing me wrong.
No, you don't think that. Well, and when someone tells you or implies that your interpretation of reality is not true, they do harmful things and then deny ever doing these things or minimize the details to discount the pain. Okay, that's what a gaslighter does. What is gaslighting in
Okay,
short?
so think about the chick on the train.
On the train, yeah.
Because I do remember parts of the movie where he made her feel like,
She's crazy.
well, not only that, like either she physically,
Yep.
destroyed something or hurt somebody else or whatever.
Well, here's what it is. They discount memories, evidence, and facts in favor of lies. They often accuse you of doing the things that they themselves are doing, which is what he did, okay? They rewrite history whenever convenient. Another good word for it is crazy making, because it literally makes the recipient feel crazy and they question their own reality. They provoke you over and over and over again, and they blame you for reacting.
So they're wearing you down. They're making you doubt.
Yep.
They're making you doubt. And I know I've been in a narcissistic relationship where it is, after a while you're like, God, am I nagging?
Yeah.
Or God, am I being this way?
Am
or
I asking for too much? Am I really
Gosh,
too
am I-
demanding?
You
Yeah.
do. And so my advice is your red flag that you get from the get-go is what you need to stick with.
That's right.
And don't let them continually beat you down
Yep.
thinking that you're crazy. You are the
Well,
only one
here's-
that knows if you're
Yeah.
crazy.
Here's what the gaslighter looks for. They take an inventory of the things that upset you. So they're looking to see what upsets you, what bothers you. Okay, so if you felt rejected, if you don't like being rejected, if you hate being in pictures, I mean things like that. They look for these things and just they use them against you. They do them on purpose, and so then they do more of those things. You will likely react calmly the first 3 or 4 times,
Right.
thinking you resolve the issue, but then they do it again and again and again. You think, how in the world can someone not get this? I've told you over and over and over. Eventually you react less calmly. This is when the gaslighter jumps on you and accuses you of being hysterical, crazy, too sensitive, too negative, paranoid, bipolar, or mentally ill. They tell
throw
you
the book at you. They
Yeah.
tell you.
to calm down.
This is the crazy thing. They're the ones that are saying irrational, not true things, and then they go, "You are
You're crazy. Yeah. Well, they say that they'll tell you to calm down and make you feel ashamed of your normal reaction to their unacceptable behavior.
Because the truth is, you've probably been dealing with their lies and bullshit, but you haven't reacted.
Exactly.
And now
Well-
you get to a point that you react because it's like enough,
Well, but that's the whole thing.
and they love that.
People, gaslighters pick people that their life works, they're stable, they're successful, they're productive, they have good reputations. I mean, I've got a married couple right now. Actually, they're divorced, and she's literally not leaving him alone. I mean, she's calling all of his business partners, all of his friends, spreading all these lies and gossips, and she's hacked in his email, locked him out of his house.
What?
And everything, she wants him to lose it. She wants him to come after her, and other people have done this, okay? And they've come after her, and they've thrown her out, they've got violent, whatever. She wants that kind of reaction. So she's poke, and then when he starts, fuck you, she has a camera with everybody watching, look at what he's doing to me. Because the goal of this person is to ultimately stay the victim. They are professional victims. Man, they are good at being the victim. But they put you through so much, and so you almost have to respond. But then, and unless you do respond and you do whatever it takes to get them out of your life, they won't go away, and they'll ruin your life.
I tell you what, I remember
They'll
one
ruin your
time
life.
I was in a relationship, and this person showed up. We weren't living together, right? Shows up in front of the house in his car. And
It's after the ending.
demanded something, right? So I go outside. He gets right in my face, touching my nose, right?
With his nose.
Yeah. And just saying the most derogatory,
Yeah.
knew what to say,
Oh, yeah.
right? And I don't know, I mean, Jesus was with me because I was so calm.
You knew.
And he would
getting
say
baited.
things like, are you going to hit me now? You're going to hit me now. So finally, I walked away. A neighbor called me, and she goes, did you happen to see the man across the street filming?
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, so
To get you to just naturally go, what are you doing? Get off
right,
me.
and be like, she's abusive, or whatever it was.
Oh, he would love that. He'd love to put you in jail.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm so proud of you
Take
for
my
not
kids
doing that.
away. No, it was totally Jesus, because when I walked in the house,
a knowing.
and then you're like, what just happened? What just happened? And then when you process,
You got set up. Yep.
Yeah.
You were getting
But then I
processed,
was
yeah.
on the alert because I was set up a lot of times, and he even tried to set
he's
my
still
dad
doing
up.
it.
Here's my dad,
doing it.
a Vietnam vet, who was shot. I mean, he's lived his whole life with a hole in his leg since the Vietnam War.
Wow.
And this person was in my dad's face saying, you're such a coward. You didn't really fight for our country. I mean, really going below the belt. And I'm standing there,
Wow.
and I'm just like, please, Dad, don't hit him. Please, Dad, don't hit him.
Right, because then you know it's going to happen.
And my dad just laughed at him.
Good. He
Yeah.
knew. He knew.
Yeah, but he was trying to bait my dad, right? So this is kind of, it's a crossover
It is.
because it's still narcissistic, but it's like, what
it's-
can I do?
To get you going, and then that's going to be on display. If you lose your shit,
and then you're the bad person.
you're the bad person, exactly. You know, I've got a situation right now. I've got this beautiful friend, and she's married. They're going to go through a divorce. So he decides to move his brother in, and his brother is a druggie. Okay, so he moves his brother in. She's gone to the police. She's gone to an attorney. There's not much she can do about this because he's on the house title too.
Yeah.
This man, this is his brother, okay? He gets in her face. This was 2 weeks ago. He's in her face screaming, "You're abusing your children. You're abusing your kids." And this is outside. I wonder if there's a camera guy around the corner too.
Yeah.
And she did not react. She just said, "No, I'm not. I'm not doing that." But he was saying these horrendous, awful things. They sleep with you. They slept with you when they were little kids. Well, they have bad dreams. Yeah, they're going to crawl in bed with mom and dad.
Right.
That's normal stuff.
Right.
But he's going to pervert that. He tried to poke her and poke her. Said the worst thing she's ever been. She's never
Yeah.
heard these things at her
Yeah.
in her life.
Yeah.
And this is her soon-to-be ex-husband sicking the brother on her because he doesn't have the balls to do this to her face. But this is what he's trying to make her go crazy. And I warned her. I said, "You record everything, get him out of your house, and if you have to leave, you leave." But they want her gone. That's what's going on here.
They just want her
They
out.
want her out, or they want her dead. Wow. I'm not kidding. It is a dangerous situation. And I said, you go to the police, file a report, talk to your attorney. You start documenting everything here, and do not. And I said, put cameras up, have recording devices. But now he's talking to the kids.
The
And I
thing
said,
is
"Ugh."
that when you're in a situation like this, particularly
Scary.
when there are children, you have to do homework. I'm sorry.
you do.
I mean, I remember
You do.
with this relationship, we were at separately, right? Because we weren't together. But one of the kids had a baseball game.
Yeah.
And they were little, you
Yeah.
know, and standing in line in the concession, right? And it's a big, there's probably 6 fields, and
Yeah.
the concession's in the middle.
Yeah.
Lots of people there. People in the town we know because our
yeah.
kids
It's
have
your
grown.
community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And I turned and asked him a question about like who's riding home with who, and he stops and he yells, "Don't hit me! You hit me again! I'm calling the police!" Like, and I'm sitting there going,
"Oh my Lord."
"What? What?" And he's clearly taller and bigger than I am.
Oh
you know?
yeah. Oh yeah.
And I've got 2 of my kids with me, and they're looking like, "What?"
Insane.
The thing is that when you have people like that, they have no sense of,
They don't.
okay, that could embarrass the child, or I could look
No.
bad to the child, or whoever it is. There's no
They don't care.
consequence.
They don't care. It is to get you to look bad. They want to humiliate, degrade you in
Yeah.
public,
Yeah.
and then they're selling. It's like they're promoting some story. See, don't you see the frame getting built? Like you're an abuser, you're the bad one.
Yeah.
And then he's got a court battle coming up, and he can take you down
Right.
with that information, and that's
Right.
what happens.
And that's what happens.
That's what happens.
And
Here's some more. Go ahead. More?
No, I was
Okay.
just going to say, I mean, it got so bad to the point he hired somebody to stalk me.
Oh, I remember this.
He hired someone to stalk me.
Yep.
And it just went for about 6 months. It went crazy. It went out of hand.
Yep.
My kids were involved.
Yep.
The guy ended up going to jail.
Yep. Thank God.
But
No, but crazy making.
right.
But do you see that's the design of it? That was the intent, to make you go crazy and go broke. Yeah.
Well, and to paint, I'm kind of a public personality in our community, but to make me look bad.
Exactly. Because
not him.
It's all deflection so that nobody figures out what he's really about.
Right.
And we know
Okay,
what he's
else
really
do you
about.
have?
So they tend to lash out when asked to take responsibility for their behavior. Gaslighters use their tactics for many reasons: control, power, entertainment, which is him, sheer boredom. But most common time you'll notice gaslighting is when you point out their misbehavior or ask them to take responsibility for it.
How does that work when the law points it out, or an attorney or a judge? How do they react?
They
then?
blame it on someone else. So, I mean, I'm dealing with a pedophile, Paul Bryant, okay? Paul Bryant, he's a monster, and but he's never accountable. I've never, ever, ever heard him say
And by the
he's
way,
sorry.
this guy has gone
convicted
to
for
jail.
being a pedophile.
Yeah, he is registered, so Camille's not just making up some label. It's
You can look it up.
is. Yeah.
Paul J. Bryant, and he's a pedophile. He abused 2 of his children. So he went to prison. He went and he's out. But this guy, there's no accountability. They never take responsibility. It is always someone's fault. They are the victim always, and they're good. They use a legal system by appealing these. He's trying to appeal his conviction. He took a plea deal. Okay, he's trying to.
He's already spent time.
He's appealing protective orders. It is automatic when you abuse children that the children get a protective order, so you can't go reoffend, right? He's appealing these protective orders, using the court system to make those kids sit in front of him, and his attorney interrogates, tries to baffle and confound them so they say stupid shit. He thinks he's going to get a whole new trial, but he's appealed to the state of Utah.
So somebody like Paul Bryant in this situation with gaslighting,
Yep.
there's not one victim.
Oh, no.
It is whoever serves him the best or
That's
her
it.
the best.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he will use people like you wouldn't believe. This guy is diabolical, but they all look so innocent. They look like Larry Nassar. They look like they're just this hoodlum, kind of pokey. Just they're little people.
Right.
He's a little guy.
Which we've talked about this before.
Compensating.
But, I think there in the past there has been a stereotype of what a pedophile looked like. And now
You don't know.
it's not even now. I mean, it's been this way for a long time. But
you really don't know what they look like.
You don't. No. And the majority of them are people you know.
That's right. Well, 9/10 of the time, they're people you trust.
Yeah.
That's what's scary.
Yeah.
Like Larry Nassar, a doctor, you should be able to trust him.
Right.
And these pedophiles are that they run in good crowds. Like they're friends with, with owners of companies. They're friends with people that they can get somewhere with,
Yeah.
They
yeah.
associate with high people.
Or
and they
they're
target
in
you.
a religious type
No,
setting.
I think I was
or-
targeted because, again, I'm a little bit of a public figure. I'm on TV. I have a nonprofit. I work with children. I was targeted by this fucker. So,
Yeah,
but he's
and-
appealing plea deals. He's appealing protective orders.
What is his personality to do that?
Oh, this guy is a narcissistic. He is a
Sociopath?
pathological
What is he?
sociopathic liar. He's a sociopath, and I do believe that he's a gaslighter. He knows exactly how to manipulate people. Okay, he knows exactly how to make you feel bad for him. Oh, the best, the most masterful.
Wow.
Poor me. He's Eeyore. And he's just got the worst luck on the planet, or he's a monster. They
I'll
tend
go
to
with
lash out
monster.
and take responsibility. They never take responsibility. They blame it. Sorry. This is when they ramp up, is when you're trying to get him to be accountable. This guy's caught red-handed in a lie with me, and I'm like, just own it. Never. Wouldn't ever. I mean, never has. It's unbelievable. They'll ramp up abuse, twisting your words, rewriting reality, even when you think you have a slam dunk case against them with evidence and proof in court. Okay? They'll hurl completely outrageous accusations at you to just destabilize you and put you on the defense. That's what they're
there
doing.
has been so many times that I have been to court,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden things get brought up that have nothing to do with why we're there, that are totally irrelevant. But now all of a sudden the focus has shifted
Yep.
to something that doesn't matter.
Yep.
And time
And the
is
whole
taken
court goes
up.
with it, yeah. And then you have no time for whatever you're there for.
Yeah.
No, I've got letters. Get this. I mean, again, this Paul Bryant, he's accused me of fraudulently writing these letters from the jail, okay? The letters were never in my hand. They went through his attorney. How the hell am I going to write that to
Well,
myself?
okay, but don't you think a gaslighter, male or female, who's ever doing it, they view their victims as they're stupid.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way they're going to catch on. And if they do catch on a little bit, then they go a different route.
They do.
Or they try a different subject.
They do. Well, and I'm now a liability because I figured him out. I see
Yeah,
that through
yeah,
his bullshit, right?
yeah.
So the person that's a liability because they can expose you, they attack. And they do. They try to frame you in this horrible light. They figure out what you're good at and they try and pervert it. Yeah, but this is, he'll attack my motherhood. He'll attack my business. He'll attack whatever,
Right,
trying to make me look like I'm
right.
crazy.
And even people that are gaslighters that maybe they're not criminals, because I've been around somebody that
Yeah.
loves to point out when they get hurt, their feelings get hurt, and they're much, much younger than I am. You're just an old Miss USA. Maybe you should give that up. So
See, they're targeting your win. They're targeting your success, but they'll pervert it into something so that you feel bad about being successful.
right.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that the whole movement is, why don't you let somebody else have the spotlight instead of trying to always take it? What?
You're not trying to take anything.
No.
You're just being yourself.
There's
but
a
look at
spotlight for everybody. For
Look at
crying
the
out loud.
accusation of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's how you kind of read a gaslighter. Reverse that. So this person is saying that to you. Turn it around. That's what she's doing. Okay. She's trying to take spotlight. She's trying to steal it from you. She's trying to become somebody off of your success.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening
Yeah.
here.
So the reason why we're sharing this is
Yep.
you may not be dealing with a pedophile. You may not be
No.
dealing with
Gaslighter.
somebody that has a criminal background or could go to jail for whatever they did. You may be dealing with somebody that emotionally is just
abusive.
abusive.
This is emotional abuse. They're always the victim no matter what at all. No matter how horribly they treat other people, they're the victim. One of the most frustrating qualities of gaslighters is they are constantly the victim. Even when they abuse, criticize, judge, lie, and betray others, they somehow come out as the victim. Let me look here. You start questioning your reality, your inner world. You distrust your own emotions, identity, and you wonder if you're going crazy. You feel vulnerable. And if you've been with a gaslighter, it can leave lasting self-doubt about yourself. Do you know that?
Yeah.
You start doubting that God exists. You start doubting that life's supposed to go your way. And these people, that you have to get away from them. They are black holes. It's like you'll circle the rim constantly of that black hole, and your life will spiral out of control. But if you start doubting yourself, they win. That is their ultimate goal.
Camille, when say you've got two people, they date, they eventually get married. Do they become gaslighters, or is it a personality situation? They've always been that way, but they escalate it? How does that work?
No, typically they are who they are. So I know of a young couple, okay, they've been together about a year, and the female is a gaslighter. No matter what, he can't win ever, and he's accused of cheating and lying, and I think she's doing that. Okay, so I know she is, but she's going to slime all of her guilt and all of her whatever onto him. So he's destabilized. He's young. He doesn't recognize what's really happening to him. But these people are the way they are. They're kind of like this as children. I don't think this is automatically something they grow into. Sociopaths, suppressors.
So the point is, don't think
you made
them that way.
Oh no,
right. I will say too. And maybe women do this, but I've experienced this from men.
Yeah.
They like to use the sex card.
Oh yeah.
So if say they go out and they commit adultery, or they're watching porn or whatever, they like to blame that on you.
Yeah.
Well, if you did this for me, or if you wore this, or if you gave me sex whenever I wanted to,
I wouldn't have to do that.
I wouldn't be this way.
I'll tell you what, my son's father, his name's Shane, okay? And I was with him, my first husband, okay, high school sweetheart. And he got my girlfriend pregnant, so that was a winner.
While they were married.
Well, I was married to him, yeah. So
you had Nathan.
I had Nathan, yeah. So this man would say to me, and I did this deliberately. So he'd say, "Well, we don't have sex anymore, and you don't this anymore. You don't." So here I am wearing teddies. I'm cooking in nighties. I'm watching. I'll watch porn with him. I'll do whatever. I did everything he complained about. Okay, I'll fix it. I'll fix it. And one day he looked at me and he said, "Huh. Well, maybe this isn't you, maybe this is me." Oh, well, now we can have a conversation. But I knew what I was doing.
I'm surprised he even said that.
He said that because it was like, so I went overboard. I'm pretzeled. I'm somersaulting. I'm in splits. I mean, I'm doing everything this guy said. You know, he liked redheads. Well, I wore a redheaded wig. I mean, I was doing everything I could to get this guy to just be faithful, to see if it's me, I'm going to fix it. I knew it wasn't, okay?
Yeah.
But I did everything he asked for just to get him to see. And I'm like, oh, well, I've done it. Now what? Well, maybe it's me. Maybe it is you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar situation, only mine never said maybe it's me, was you care more about the kids than you do me. So it was like, okay, let's have sex while the kids are banging on the door.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
You know, and but that wasn't the satisfaction, you know, because
it's not even
really
true.
when it comes down to it, when you have somebody like that, ladies, really pay attention to this. When you have somebody like that, it isn't the sex they want.
No,
and
it's
it
the
isn't
control.
your body or your lack of body or any of that. It is domination.
It's the control. You're damn right. It's all about dominating you and controlling you. That's right.
And I don't mean dominating in sex. I mean dominating you.
If they can make you feel guilty, and they attract good people, okay, wholesome, good, honest people. You know, my son, I mean, he's gone through a relationship like this, and he is a good-hearted, sweet-hearted person, and he doesn't see it coming. And I was like, what the hell, Nathan? And someone said to me, Camille, you're not crazy, therefore he doesn't know crazy. So he's blinded by some of these women that he's been with, because he doesn't see it coming, because you're not that way. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh Lord, I guess I should have been wacky. But it's interesting, because I am honorable, I am trustworthy, I do have his back. I'm not like that. I don't gaslight. I don't lie like that.
Yeah, you're none of those characteristics.
No, but there's been life lessons abundant around young men like that around me, that I have helped coach them.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with someone who you will never win with, and they can make you suicidal. They can make you feel like life is not worth living. You'll never get out of this pit. You'll never get out of this hole. And why be here? It's always your fault.
I think here's what you need to ask yourself. So if you went into a relationship with great self-esteem, positive about you, who you are, how you feel about things, your future.
Yeah.
You know, coming together as a couple, whether it's a same-sex marriage, same-sex whatever,
Yeah,
or
doesn't
whatever
matter.
it is,
Coupling.
coming together should be a sense of growing together, but also growing individually, not
right.
growing apart,
That's
growing
right.
individually.
Not codependent.
If you know, as time goes by, if you're finding yourself, you're doubting who you are, ask yourself who's putting that doubt in you.
Yep.
And if that is your spouse, your significant other, whoever is in your life,
Yeah.
they are the problem.
That's right.
You are not the problem.
Look at you before the relationship. Look
Yeah.
at you after the relationship. Same or different person. And I this is the questions I ask my clients. You know, do you like yourself inside this relationship? Do you like who you're turning into? Do you like who you're becoming? And if the answer is no,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
you're in the wrong relationship.
Yeah.
Period.
And I will tell you too, keeping your mouth shut and just dealing with it and just taking it is not the answer.
Nope.
Because eventually you're over your head.
That's right. Well, and here's the thing. A lot of people say to me, because I say, okay, why is this a good idea? Why are you still here? You know, and this gentleman with he's locked out of his own house. I mean, I don't want to become who she says I am. That's the whole thing, is they don't want to really become. He could get legal. He could get the police. He could get people involved. He doesn't want to be the asshole she already says he is. And I'm like, sugar, you've already got the title and the T-shirt. Just go do it. So that's what people do. Like you said, people just grin and bear it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to. They don't want to
Right.
bring that out. They bring out the worst side of people. They really do. But until you get ugly, nasty, and you're willing to go all the way, whatever it is, you'll take whatever it takes to get this person out of your life. You'll never be free of it. You'll never be free of it.
So true, because you know there are many times that you may be thinking, well, I'm not going to call the police because that's ridiculous. If they're calling the
sure.
police,
You're calling the police. Right.
You have to play back, or they're going to keep going and going and going and running over you till you
right.
get to the point that you go,
Yeah.
what's wrong with me?
Well, and then if you've got a kid that you're helping raise with them, you know, one time I had one this crazy bitch say, "You pick up my son, I'm going to sue you for kidnapping."
Like pick him up and
you
take him somewhere.
You get him from the babysitter or whatever.
Okay.
I'll call the police and say you're kidnapping my kid. Okay.
What?
Yeah, this person's co-parenting. They're the guy. They're the one paying the bills. They're the husband in a way. Okay. They're trying to save this child, and she's saying that's kind of crap.
So the male is actually acting like a father figure because they live together, right?
And that kid loves him, and he's safe with him.
And
but the kid's a pawn.
Yeah. And now you've fucked with the kid because
Yep.
because he's
You keep
looking at
taking
like
love
that's
away.
my dad. But you know
That's
what?
right.
Now he's leverage.
That's
the
right.
girl goes, you don't do what I want, I'm gonna take my kid.
That's what it is too. So
Man.
you can't get too attached to these kids if you're with a gaslighter. Yeah, crazy.
So I mean, really, moral to the story, guys, is if you are with somebody that's a gaslighter, it's never gonna get better.
No, it doesn't change.
I mean,
they face
when you have people that come to you for counseling that are gaslighters and you help them recognize they are, do they get better?
No, they don't. And they're never accountable. I'm telling you. Even when I say, "You're full of shit, girl." Yeah, I mean, I had this person in my office, and for an hour, all they kept trying to do is bash their partner. He's this, he's that, and I said, "Okay, he's not here. He can't defend himself. You're not going to come in and just gripe. I'm not your girlfriend that you can gossip about your man with.
Right.
I'm your coach, and I'm going to try and make your life better by getting you to be accountable. And until you are, you're a victim of everyone and everything. And you're trying to sell me that this guy is mean to you. Well, then you should leave.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work out, you should leave.
Right.
Well, no, don't come in here. All you want is run your story. Your story is what you're selling. What are you framing him for? You're setting him up for what?
Which that always makes me laugh when people come to Camille, who is a professional, by the way, and has heard every story on the planet, and somebody comes in and
victim
thinks,
with me.
I'm just gonna give her a bunch of shit, and I know she's gonna believe it. And Camille is looking at him the whole time, going, "So stop with that. What are we gonna do right now about this?" And they still go on. That
try.
is
They
somebody
try.
that has.
No, this woman could not. And I just said, I can't help you. I cannot help someone who is incapable of being honest.
Yeah.
And I told her that. I said, honey, I don't think you can be honest with yourself or with me. And until you can, I cannot help you. You're not coachable.
Yeah.
If you're not coachable, you just want to be a victim of somebody, don't come to me. Now, I'm not saying that to everybody. If there are genuine people that come into my office that really aren't trying to be the victim, they really are, though, I will say, this is hurting you. Do you not see this? I mean, I do the other thing too.
Yeah.
But people that are they're just using it as leverage, trying to sell that they're the victim. What leverage do you want out of that?
So
You want pity out of me? Because I don't give pity.
Gaslighters themselves are really hurting and struggling from what?
They're not hurting. They don't feel pain. They don't have remorse. They are narcissistic like that. They don't have guilt. They don't have remorse.
Something happen for
Could be.
a trigger to? I mean, in other words, were they born
They could
that
have been
way?
adopted. They could have been abandoned early on. They could have taken something personal. I mean, I don't know if they're born that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do think that they develop a relationship with stuff and they learn how to abuse their power. It's typically the ones that never get called on their shit, frankly. They're
Yeah,
babied their whole
yeah,
life.
yeah.
And I had these parents that I talked to for this one lady, this one girl, and I'm like, she's faking that she has all these illnesses. She needs a kidney transplant. Oh no, she has cancer. And I'm like, how do you guys deal with this? Well, we just have a good sense of humor. And I'm like, okay, number one, if my son or my daughter was saying, I'm dying of this and that, I'm gonna be like, what? We're running to Huntsman. If we have cancer scare, we're going to Huntsman. I'm dealing with that. I'm not gonna sit back and go, cancer treatment.
hospital here in Utah.
But I would not enable and just back off. Well, and then I was told, well, that, she gets really nasty when she's cornered. I will corner my kid as long as it takes. They'll be handcuffed to the fucking bed. They're not going to go through this crazy making shit.
Yeah.
My kids have integrity, but these people have no integrity. And the minute you try to get them to have integrity, oh, you're done.
But that's just it. I mean, just like with class, you can't teach somebody integrity. You know what I'm saying? And somewhere
Cannot.
along the line, as a child,
They got away with so much.
And think about this, because there are many times. Heck, I'm a mom of 5. Sometimes when my kids were littler, I just was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead and watch videos again. I don't care. Eat fruit snacks again. I don't care because I'm tired.
Right.
However, when you are at, oh my gosh, I can't stand going to a store. And mom or dad or grandma or whoever is over here shopping, and the kid is over
Run
here
wild.
in the toy department
Run
tearing
wild,
things
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That I think, you know what? Do you not know? I was at, imagine this, y'all. I was at a makeup store, and so you know how they have like all the samples.
Yeah.
And I don't fault the kid, it was a toddler.
Yeah.
And it was right at his eye level. And he watched his mom play and try out
Try it out.
samples. And what was he doing? Destroying everything.
Oh, wow.
And she's like this, stop, play, stop. You know what I'm thinking? Okay, this kid knows I'm still not getting attention from mom.
No. And no accountability.
And I'm getting away with
Yep.
this.
And
What
no
else
doing
can
it.
I do to get away with
A
or
little
get
vandal.
attention?
Yeah.
Right?
But that kid's going to grow up thinking it's okay to do that kind of crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay, so bottom line, tell people what they need to look for.
So if you have someone who tells stories about reality and you're going, no, that's not how it happened,
Right.
but it's always to make themselves look like the victim, they don't apologize much. They're never accountable, and they only say they're sorry when you're leaving. These are the people that you have to avoid. And if you're in a relationship like this, you think you're going crazy, you have to do what it takes to get away from that person. Even leave the state. I'm not kidding. I've had to help people escape these kind of situations because these people are cray-cray.
Yeah.
And if you're doubting yourself, you look at yourself before and after the relationship, you don't like who you're becoming, do something about it. Have the courage, reach out, get on a phone call with someone, call a counselor, call a friend, and just say, I think I
Call
need to end
somebody
this.
that knew you before
Yep.
you were in this relationship and say, I want you to I want you to test, maybe just have a conversation and go, am I the same person you remember?
Yeah.
Now, granted, people mature and we grow and, we
Yeah,
grow
but
up
if
with
you're
life,
worse off
but,
because of them,
I remember being in a relationship and I hadn't seen my parents in years. And when the relationship ended and my parents came up and they actually started to hear for the first time all that happened, I remember my dad saying, you didn't have to say a word. Your face was so broken that I
They
knew
knew.
whatever, there'd been years of things that had happened to you.
Terrible.
You know what I'm saying? And so you cannot hide.
no.
You cannot hide it.
People know.
Yeah.
If they love you, they know. Yeah.
Yeah, and Camille's always, if you don't
Call
live in
me.
Utah, it's
I'll
no big deal.
work on the
She can work on the phone.
Yeah.
Gaslighting is what we're talking about. We're talking about people that are narcissistic. Look it
avoid 'em.
up. If you're
Yeah,
thinking,
research
gosh,
it.
maybe
Yeah,
I don't know. Gosh, there's all kinds of info out there, just so you can understand what are the characteristics. And am I crazy? No, you're not. No,
not
you were
crazy.
not
Nope.
crazy. Yeah.
And you'll feel so much better when the relationship ends. Yeah.
Yeah, because you get you back,
Yep.
and you now but you still need to go see somebody like Camille because
And work
you
on
don't
you.
want to carry around that PTSD.
No, it's awful.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it does take something. I mean, it takes something to really get yourself out of not trusting yourself again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
because when
crazy
you
making-
figure out somebody did a number on you,
Yeah.
you put yourself through more hell than
Yeah.
they probably did.
That's right,
Because
'cause you
you're
feel
like, what the
stupid.
hell? Why did I buy that? Or why did I believe that? Or
Been there,
didn't?
done that myself.
Me
and
too.
I'll tell you, I get so enraged when someone's trying to play me or put me in that category, it's like, I know what you're up to. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on me anymore, but it used
And you'll
to.
be surprised when people tell you what you think.
Yeah.
Boy, that
You
sets
feel
me
this
off.
and you think that.
I know what you're thinking. No, you don't. Right?
Sugar, if you know what I was thinking.
It's it's not kind and lovely and full of flowers.
No.
Okay. Hey, we appreciate you watching Shock Talking. We'll
Thank
be back
you.
another time. Thank you, friends. Make sure you like,
Share,
subscribe, or whatever order you want to do. Have a good one. See ya.
Oh, honey, you mean I need
I'm
that.
going to have to get up. Here
I'm gonna
comes
have
the
to
cleavage.
get that long finger and. Yep, there you go.
Bye.